what is your experience worth? I think everybody in this world values time over everything. And whether or not they realize that, there's two things in this world that we desire to have. One is time and one is money. You desire to have, well, in reality, we want them both. You want a lot of time and you want a lot of money. Everybody wants to live longer. They want to be rich and prosperous. Okay, well, that's not going to happen. Okay, it just doesn't happen. It might happen to like 1 out of 50 million people, but you're not one of them. So people value both of these. Which one do you value more than the other? You have to say to yourself, okay, so I have a lot of time, but people that usually have a lot of time don't have a lot of money. And the people with a lot of money don't usually have a lot of time. Now, there is a happy medium there to where you get so rich that all you have is time. There is nothing else for you to do because you've hustled your ass off getting to where you are currently right now, to where you don't need any more time or you don't need any more money. You're just kind of set for the rest of your life. But I think we all strive to get to that point to where we don't have to do anything anymore because now we are retired. The problem is when you retire entirely too late of your life, that you don't really have a whole lot of time left and you don't really have a whole lot of money to enjoy that time that you have left. So that's why you see people that are retired and they continue to work, because there's nothing else after that. It's like you're still hustling for the other part of that break. Even when people win the lottery, they get all that money. They don't have enough of time to spend it. Well, actually, it's quite the opposite. They have they seem to manage to blow through all of it in a very short amount of time. But now you have no money left. That's because that person doesn't value either of those. It's quite literally that simple. Is what do you value more than the other? Is it time or is it money? And you can't have both. You can't. And I think that if you are a business coming from someone that has created a multi-million-dollar company, which is now bankrupt, not because of me, but because of the government, there's not a whole lot I could have done there. But a multi-million-dollar company, and that's not being exaggerative at all. That one thing that I never had enough of was time. But I sure as in hell had a whole lot of money that could back up everything that I created. But the amount of time that I had to spend going to work between 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. with Emily, she used to work for me. We would go to work at 9 and we would go home at 2 and do it 7 days a week, every day. And then, of course, once a business got successful, everybody loved that business because it was fantastic. But at the same time, what was great about that was, yeah, I put all this time in. And when you see what the final result is after all that time, it makes it that much more rewarding. But only you're going to be able to appreciate that because you're the person that put that time in. And that's why you could hire 55,000 people and nobody will ever run a company the way you want them to run it. Never, never. The only person that's going to run a company the way you want it to be ran is you. You. And how you run that company, you just have to decide which one's more important than the other. Is it time or is it money? So I guess the life lesson today is if you had to pick between the two of those, just write in a comment which one you would pick. You can only pick one, and it's an unlimited amount of it. You have to sacrifice the other one, though.